still have the hardest matchup of the entire bracket to go because they are up versus Blind Owl tomorrow. That
doesn't look too good.
You should have taken the points today, is what I'm trying to
exactly.
say.
Should have gotten the points today. But that is all for tomorrow. Tomorrow's schedule, we start again at 10 a.m. CEST, 11 EEST, depending where you're living from. If you're a European viewer, I don't fully remember the Southeast Asian schedule, unfortunately, because I'm from Finland. Apologize for that. Hope you guys have enjoyed today. I have been in a bit of a flu, so... I might have been feeling a bit nasally today, but hopefully you guys still enjoyed the casts and the games that were on today. But tomorrow is a whole new, different day. We will be back with some more great dotes in this final SEA tour before we close the things out. So until tomorrow, take care of yourselves, folks. Good night, and bye-bye.
One chance. One dream. One match. One energy. One fight. One aim. One action. One hope. One expert.
Fuck. Use your skills into gaming. 1xBet.
Be Dragon Esports Club, the very last game or very last match of the tournament, right? But Hryvnia, of course, dominated the living crap out of Group A. I think they want to kind of approach the playoffs with a clean slate. That does mean they need to get the 2-0 and then just crush whoever is coming up against them. But we'll see. Like right now, Team T with the flawless play, they have only lost one map overall, and Team Hryvnia have already lost two. But they can also enter the clean slate club with 13 points if they get the 2-0 against Dragon Esports Club. But we shall see. Right now, it is looking like they are going to utilize the support Tinker on the Team Hryvnia side, as it is something that we've been seeing from Jinkyu and the likes of Yor in EPL Americas. So no big surprises there. The hero basically is just building a Holy Locket and then just utilizing the March of the Machines facet, just basically crush the opposition. But yeah, Tinker overall with the repair bots, it's just basically bonkers OP. Haven't seen it lose just yet. I think overall the build it just technically just runs you down into the ground, and yeah, I wonder what kind of auras could work against it. I'm thinking Shiva's, maybe even like a Scotty could be rather useful if it comes to B. But as Coach has said in previous streams, the Scotty's quite dead in this patch, and we haven't really seen it be successful at all. As more than likely a bigger question on everyone's mind is, what are the playoff stages going to be looking like? As far as I can tell, tomorrow we will start the playoffs. EMS Winter Bear is going to be our first match. Then it's going to be Team T versus Monty, Team Hryvnia versus Vidar Gaming, and Hryvnia versus Hydra. So there is the possibility of Team Hryvnia and Team T facing off in the upper bracket just like last season in Cyberscore Cup. But to be honest, Color is unsurprised. Overall, the tourneys are looking rather solid. As we can say, like so far, no big surprises in terms of the results. As some of the bigger teams that used to play European Pro League are attempting CCT Season 2 instead of EPL, which is rather understandable. Our price pools haven't really increased in the recent times. But yeah, still, it is $20,000 of a price pool being offered. The person losing here, joining Call Me Chada, at the bottom is securely level up Dragon Esports, and next up. But yeah, saying goodbye to them. It's gonna be, sad pill to swallow. But overall, with the groups technically being over since yesterday, no real big questions were asked. But to be fair, one of the big surprises for me, or one of the biggest hurts, was Call My Chada. I think that lineup had huge potential, but yeah, internal conflicts or just disbanding in general. It tends to happen in esports overall. As we get to the very, very last picks, sorry, a bit of work coming through, but as we get to the last picks, it's rather boiling down to me if Dragon Esports Club actually want to run the Monkey King in a core role, make that the mid or position 4. That could be the big decider in Dragon Esports Club's lineup as they put out the puck. It tends to show me that the Ember Spirit will be the position 4 with the Tinker 5, Wind Ranger 3, Puck mid, and Terrorblade carry for Team Hryvnia. That sounds abysmal, if I'm not gonna lie. That sounds atrocious. But that just might be what we're looking at right now. This Dragon Esports Club basically picking up puck counter is what you're thinking of right now. But Puck as your aura carrier could be the alternative. We did see it back in the day when Mind Control was playing on Liquid. But I'd rather not, honestly. Not in this patch. Right now, I think Puck's facets kind of suit the hero more on the mid lane. And if you just go for the Jostling Rift, you can technically just join people up for faster tempos as Paul goes back to Ye Old Faithful and picks out the Chaos Knight. But yeah, as far as I can tell, do we have a Swapperoo? Yes, we also have DRT coming in one more time as main support, with Norma actually playing on the Doom. So he's not the one exchanged. It is actually, hold on a second, Geozizi. What? Is he? Yeah, Geozizi and Mozzarella are swapped out. So it's going to be Eind and DRT playing on the Monkey King and the Enchantress. And of course, the little bit weirded name is what Eind is going to be playing. So you're going to see a few Eastern characters on the Monkey King instead. But yeah, Flacco's taking the Tinker as expected. And it is going to be an offlaner Ember Spirit of all things. As Fernance decides to actually take the Wind Ranger. So support Wind Ranger along with the support Tinker. As Fernance is taking a little bit. Sorry. As we can tell, Niche is taking the puck mid. Yeah. It was hard to get there, but we got there. But yeah, Going to be an offlane Ember Spirit, everybody. We'll see how effective it is. So far, so good. Eind just exploring the territory. Both teams are kind of just testing each other's mettle. Not really making the approach just yet.
"30 seconds to battle."
As I'm sure most of you are aware,
Hate me for this.
You might wish to retract your last move.
TI is approaching. In about a month, the best teams in the world will be facing each other, and no compendium was released just yet. Everyone's just standing dumbfounded as to what the tournament's format's going to be, what the prize pool's going to be. We don't even know anything just yet. But what we do know is that Norma's in big trouble. Doesn't even get the rune, but will get instantly abused with a bit of damage. His dual raise with the mid Rubik. We'll just reply with some Fate Bolt action. Rubik tends to fall into the mid lane around here in August and July. It is not an unfamiliar thing, but the last time I've seen it this prominently in the meta, Dendi was still in Na'Vi. So even though it's not an unusual sight, you see the Grand Megas on the mid lane overall.
From the slow.
It's a rather strange part. As we see, of course, Focus Fire has changed the Whirlwind for Nance's stance. That's basically usable at the off times of the play, as Fernance is gonna be first blooded down bottom.
First blood.
Hunted down after just checking out that he chose Whirlwind, but he's gonna instantly get punished for that. Okay, it's not inherently the cause and effect, but, you know, still pretty funny to see that the enemy's punishing you for your passive choices. Schleito Ishto from B-Body. Rather curious to see what the Ember Spirit's actually going to do against the CK. But yeah, overall we can see that the Enchantress is already putting the plans of the Dire to halt. As up top, we have another reflection coming out. For years and years as a caster, I always called it refraction for some reason, but that is a reflection of the person. I guess you can call it a self-reflection to some extent. Or maybe it's just bullying from the Timber Saw. Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? But why are you standing right in front of all these machines? As Paul managing to acquire Fernance one more time. It could cost him his life this time around. But apparently not. B-Body not committing his spells or not even diving. As Ember Spirits shouldn't tend to do, by the way. The right click's connecting on to Flacco. That's just part of the trade. Not even sure of the March of the Machines and the Tree Dance interaction, though. That's how dead Tinker has been for the past few years. I do believe the Monkey King should still take the damage, despite being in flying status or tree climb status. Eind is setting up. Playing for Norma. Getting off the cross pulls.
The Radiant have called upon their defenses.
Just resetting the lane down on bottom, as on the mid lane, we do see each being connected to half HP on the puck. But yeah. Overall, I don't believe I made predictions. I still think, even though there's 2 kills on Dragon Esports Club, that the Team Hryvnia boys should have it together, despite Flacco being boundless striked into the ground. It is kind of sounding like, or the drafts are shaping up to be, that when Niche just puts people into Dream Code, and then that's when the Metamorphosis comes out, and then UI can just basically clean up house.
Bounty.
If it quacks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's more than likely a B-Body offlaner, Ember Spirit. That is the biggest, how should we say, vulnerability of the Dire lineup. But as we can see, Norma isn't really making it to the lane. He did choose Devil's Bargain on the Doom, so just reselling his items is what he wants to go for. I'm fairly certain that's not going to work out for him in the long run. Could hurt a lot, but we shall see. If he goes for the Midas build, it could pay off in the long term, but other than that, I just don't see it happen. Norma with the Infernal Blade connection, but out comes the March of the Machines. Terminator movie was real, Morty. But yeah, down bottom, we have a bit of sleight of fist action, but it's not going to lead to anything. DRT securing a kill onto the Ember. Finding some extra gold for the Enchantress. That's kind of why you steal the kills of the enemy. I think it was a Bound to Strike connection. Bit of reality drift dodging, but Niche, I don't think you can escape all this. There's a loser orb on loser orb action. Niche will jump to the other side as Eind will die to the laser. Fernance going around the bend to just try and secure a kill onto the Rubik, but instead will become the victim himself. Flacco. First standing about next to DRT and the boys, but picking up the Invis rune. Flacco will just walk out of here. Metamorphosis committed by UI after killing off the Doom. That was off camera, I believe. Back to a turnaround once again. Bound to Strike connection, but nice tree cut. This DRT will die on the mid lane. Chase will be faltered. And Niche gets to breathe a little. Five to 3 in favor of the Dragon Esports Club, but as we can see, the net worths. YoY is just popping off hard with this TB. Despite the scoreboard, you can pretty much feel that, oh, a bit of Wisdom Rune contact for Eind. He does not get the Wisdom Rune and will lose out on his life, as well as the fact that Flacco just steals away the ever-coveted Wisdom from the enemy.
Radiant's middle tower is losing its foundation. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Norma about to destroy the first tier 1 tower of the game. See what they're looking for. Enchanting onto the Tinker, and the half HP Tinker will eventually fall.
Tower is under attack. You get the horn.
This Dragon Esports Club are really good at hunting down these plays. It's also due to the fact that the Monkey King needed to roam around on this map. So all Eind really truly desires is the XP, not really the last hits. Well, let's see. The strike for the approach, it's straight there onto the Tinker, but Flacco still sort of surviving with the Mark of the Machines. Eventually will fall along with Eind. Position 4 for the position 5, not always the best of exchanges, but in this case, you'll absolutely take it if you're Team Hryvnia. As the rooted down, Chaos Knight cannot reality rift to anything. Well, kind of losing out on the Phantasm Illusions. Meantime, DRT and Gores.
Tower is under attack. No gale the Dire's hive has grown thick.
Time to go and drop down the Dream Coil onto one person, but it's still there. As out comes the Whirlwind Focused Fire, DRT will eventually lose his life. Blacko keeping himself and Niche alive with the March of the Machines. Ain't really having any of the utilities on the side of Dragon Esports Club to fight this. Gores, illusory orbing in between 3 people doesn't seem like the right idea. As a telekinesis push, pull on to Niche. Out comes the Doom onto the puck, and they'll eventually secure another kill. Hind, once again, a little deep. Onto Blacko they go. Reality Rift onto the Tinker, and they will get the kill on that. But here comes UI to just clean up house. As for the price of 2, they will take 3.
Learning to fear.
And to think of the fact that all of this started with Dore just trying to reinitiate the whole fight. It'll eventually pay off for the side of Hryvnia. Enjoying the traditional carry life. Yes, he's going all for the Yasha. Skipping out on the wand for now. With that also finished, his items are already on the way. 11 minutes on the board and already 19 kills achieved.
Dire's middle tower has been
The
uprooted.
Twins are satisfied, but of course there's no Bloodseeker in this match. I mean, yeah, we are definitely going to get a game 2. It's just rather a question of, is there going to be a Bloodseeker? Well, even so, a bit of sleight of fisting from B-Body. He is going for the overly aggressive build, going from Mate Slayer into Maelstrom, skipping all utilities so far on their side is Flacco. Doing his darndest to survive against Norma and the boys, but the Infernal Blade will connect, and Flacco will burn. Tinker D damned. Tinkering about, be punished. Well, yeah. Tinker, the rather more defensive hero, kind of needs level 12 in order to start split pushing the map. But until then, it's mostly about stacking and farming out your Holy Locket as fast as possible. Really curious to see if Team Hryvnia are just maybe experimenting with the build, or have they actually practiced it in any kind of, how should we say,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
real situations as of yet? Doesn't really seem like it,
Radiant's
as
bottom tower
double
is
smoke action up
being
top,
smashed.
but it's a whole team. 5-man smoke coming through on the bottom side. Not sure they'll catch anyone.
Dire's middle tower is
All they get to see is Phantasm Illusions, as up top it's actually Yowai who's in trouble. Silenced up, controlled, doomed down, the Terror Blade will die.
bottom tower has fallen.
I just want to say Timber because he was just so fat. You gotta yell out Timber when big things fall. It's a safety hazard. Speaking of hazards and safety, Mish fighting back with all his might. Here comes Flacco joining in. Yowai coming off the triangle. That's a nice chunk of change right there.
Dire's top tower is feeling its mortality.
Boundless strike catch onto the Tinker. Flacco will still be protected by his friends. The March of the Machines, along with the Dream Call coming out from Niche, does help him survive, as out comes a Reflection. Onto Dual Rays they go, and the Rubik will be ripped to shreds. Fernance and Niche are on the hunt. Waning Rift forward. There it is. Along with the Shackle Shot as well. Norma will get stuck inside the trees, trying to whirlwind himself away, but no such luck.
Radiant's middle
You might have
tower is
learned
under
that from
attack.
celery, my friend, but
Dire's bottom tower.
this enemy ain't no vegetable.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. There is still much to be done.
Team
Dire's
Hryvnia
bottom
even up
tower
the
is
score
under
once
attack.
again in terms of gold, and forced the graph into 50% in terms of the Gaben graph. And we'll eventually find that Wisdom Rune he's been coveting for the past 7 minutes. Yeah, anything to find some success. Using cube-based gameplay does continue. B-Body just finished his Mate Slayer. Rather boiling down to the question of who are you truly targeting? I think B-Body's initial idea is to just remnant in onto the Rubik and then to execute his play. We'll see if his play is successful. As in they go into a possible catch onto the Chaos Knight. Found a strike, will whiff it. His niche went backwards instead. As the night will fall once again on this Dota map. Remains the question, which team is actually going to do Roche? I think neither of these teams are really Roche-based or Roshan-oriented. It's gonna boil down to these big fights which we saw under the Dire Tier 2. Those are, well, technically what will decide the game, as we are dead even in terms of objectives and relatively still on farm.
Radiant's bottom
Even though
tower
Paul is
under
behind
attack.
by 1.2k, I don't really call that like a huge deficit in terms of the farm game. As up
Radiant's
top,
bottom tower
we
is
do
under attack.
have
There is
Wukong's
little
command
to
exploited on from the Monkey King, but B-Body keeping up the contact. The Doom down, Tinker will die, but so will the Monkey King.
Bottom tower is under attack.
No worry, ladies and gentlemen, it is not 2016 anymore. These are only the supports. Southeast Asian all carry Dota bleeding into Europe. Well, that is a sight for sore eyes. As Dual Raise DRT and Norma are just standing about. Out comes that road of Atos. Fernand's keeping up the contact. In comes the Dream Coil onto 3 people. They are joining in with the Whirlwind for the extra damage. As Paw tries to go in for the silence and the stun, but Flacco with the Matrix will be protecting the puck. As on they go, onto the CK, and with all this damage coming on through from the Dire, Hryvnia are gonna make the Hryvnia. They're just chowing down on the enemy heroes. As Dores once again manages to escape all the action. It will lead to the eventual Roshan play of the Hryvnia boys. This is a team that doesn't really need the Aegis, to be all fair and all wise. But you know what? You'll take it when you can get it. As me, Shorty has the Seal Scepter. Fairly useful for the enemies. Raising both Dual Raise or Paul or even Norma will technically win you the game.
Has fallen to the Dire. The cursed monster has earned a moment's rest.
Every coin helps.
Well, yeah. TB, not the best Aegis carrier, as we usually say. Due to the fact that you are going to be wanting to use your Metamorphosis in fights. If you do die with that Metamorphosis, you are kind of useless with your Aegis. I mean, you do have Sunder, you can still summon images and stuff, but just in general, not the best Aegis carrier. Other examples include DK, Sven, And that's basically the end of the list. Other heroes usually have rather shorter ultimate abilities, or are strong enough
Tower is
after dying.
fast.
But yeah, I do recommend reading the Dota2 wiki. Some posts might be outdated, such as pure damage and stuff, but other than that, it's still pretty nice to have all of the information in one tiny little package on Wikipedia. Yeah, big fan of the place. And I'm a big fan of double boundless strikes. Blacko, Nickerson himself and sacrificing himself as an eye candy piece. The Tinker will fall. Well, let's see if the engagement will happen. Fernance with the Road of Athos and the Shackle straight up onto the Enchantress. Alchemist and Metamorphosis of Yowai. Keeping up the contact on to the Enchantress. In come the sprites. But yeah, this seems like Zero Coke instead of Sprite right now. The Enchantress will get melted down. Come on, Sprite. Yeah, this 4K net worth lead will be taken by the Hryvnia side. They're not alluding to their usual playstyle, where they will just dominate the enemy off lane, set up for Tormentor, and of course the 21-minute Wisdom Rune. The speed of the game will be slowing down. More than likely due to the fact that B-Body is just a little bit behind on items. Gives opportunity for Niche to get his Blink Dagger, as well as Yowai. Just try and get to Scotty as fast as possible. Fairly rare to see the item, but it's there. Designed. Will even give up on attempting to steal that Wisdom Rune.
Almighty money.
Norma. So totally skipping out
You can't improve until
on
you
Hand
make
of Midas.
mistakes.
Yeah, Designed is getting stronger. He will go for the Gleipnir build on the Monkey.
Dyer's
Not really sure when he'll have the opportunity to farm out the item.
Yet stand.
There, curious to see if B-Body will be punished here up top. Silenced up, stunned up, B-Body's in trouble. The Ember Spirit gonna get caught out. Remnant dodging out of here as once the Orchid will end. Oh, skipping up the upgrade and going for the Manta first. Mistake? We shall see. Fernance and Niche on the hunt. They do see Paw. Long range shackle as it will hit downtown, stuck to a tree. In comes the Whirlwind as well for the extra damage. But with the Dreamfall thrown down onto 3 people, the Doom will go through onto the Wind Ranger of all people. But here comes Paw. Play onto Paw, that is, as Niche will also fall. Wukong's command coming out from Ein, trying to zone out the fight. But the Gale Force is just pulling them back into the hands of Hryvnia. As it's a triple kill for Yowai, he will get a mega kill streak on Niche. As DRT will be the last one for the team wipe. Ultra kill for the Terrorblade. And it's time to report the puck for stealing the Rampage. As the Aegis gets reclaimed.
Radiant's top tower has shattered.
I'm not even surprised. You just can't really face a lineup that is reacting with the TB. I don't know what the plan is to stop Yowai, but dropping the Doom like that will initiate the full force of the enemy. Yes, I do understand. Dragon Esports Club wants to get into the numbers advantage, but it just seems like it's clearly the wrong approach. Blacko just setting it up all the way onto Paw as once again the CK dies. B-Body just keeping up the contact onto Eind and taking the kill like a candy from a baby. Team Hryvnia descending onto Dragon Esports with all their might.
There you go.
Radiant's bottom tower is fading.
Barely not paper form from either of these teams, but once you see the niche of B-Body just jumping in, setting up the kills, or maybe it's just Flacco throwing out a good shackle, or Fernance throwing out a good shackles, or just Fernance with the machines, it becomes quite clear what they want to execute.
Big prize.
Yeah, it's Flacco. Gonna get initiated on up top. The Matrix is doing a lot of work. Out comes the Vessel from Eind. Trying to score something, but Glimmer Cape Tinker will be turning back on you. Laser this as Flacco. We'll just tell him goodbye. Fernance keeping up contact. There's a BKB on this Doom. But with the Gleipnir and the Gale Force pullback onto Lucifer himself. Silence him up. Shut him in place. Shackle him to the ground as the Doom will land onto B-Body. Is that the target though? The Dream Coils will be breaking as Norma will be dying. This Dragon Esports Club just can't really fight into any of this. Paw, not even close to the BKB that he needs to fight into these plays.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
As your Y returns back up top for the second tier 2 tower. Really fair of an assessment. But I don't think Dorays and the boys have the tools to face all of this. Leipner on the Rubik, of all things. To be fair, I don't even think like Radiant's Doom would be a bad pick here. Just that it's hard to execute as Flacco doesn't really have the tools to drop to stop Paw. But Niche does have a Dream Coil. Goes break on the Enchantress's back. Down goes the RT. Is on the mid lane, B-Body. Looking to contact one more time. Out comes your Y. Last tier 2 tower will fall on the mid lane.
Radiant's middle tower
For Dragon Esports Club side. As they're doing their very darndest to just pressure all 3 lanes at once on the Hryvnia side. The Y with the Metamorphosis, the main pushing power here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
He's just sending the enemy running. But all of this damage coming through from the illusions and the conjure images. Paw
Radiant's middle barracks.
won't even go through with a reality rift over all things.
Radiant's middle barracks have
But yeah, the wise greed knows no bounds. He will Herkenpike himself off the low ground as Eind will die on the mid lane. Norma,
see the Radiant's top tower falling shortly.
Flacco, keeping up contact with the Doom. At the main same time on the mid lane, DRT and Paul be fighting. Fernance be dying as B-Body. He's just going to go over to the side of this turnaround with Niche coming through. In with the Waning Rift and the Dreamflow combo. B-Body just sliding in and out of the fight as Ember Spirits do. As Yo-Y. He might be silenced, but he will have a Sunder target soon. He will die with it though. Not using the ultimate, but Norma is next. The backing Monkey King should die, especially if Flacco puts out the machines. Mechanism is available for him, but it's not even needed, as Flacco will laser down the monkey. Norma in the air, there's no raise. Has 30 seconds to come back, but has the GG indeed. If needed. It's actually going to be a GG used by Norma. Just beating one more time. into this mid lane. As Team Hryvnia will take game number 1. As according to just comparing the two heroes. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, TB versus Chaos Knight, who has the better farm, who has the faster game progression? Of course, it's going to be the Terrorblade. Hardly any questions about that. But overall, it seems like Dragon Esports Club thought that they could deny them the opportunity for the play. And it's just also, I want to add the mid Rubik. It's just not good enough, guys. But yeah, Dragon Esports Club, they are already eliminated. They can just have some fun, play what they want to enjoy, and we'll see what they come up with in game number 2. Lovely, lovely heroes right behind me. Oh, they're so cute. Look at them. Oh, they just picked up Pudge right there on the Radiant side. Oh, it's actually at that side. Okay, yeah. And Templar as well. Okay, yeah, Dandy-based heroes. I can see the merits of that one. But I mean, Vengeful Spirit, Tiny, and Tinker at the very same time. That feels a little weird, doesn't it? Like I'm looking at these, but what, brother? What is this, brother? What this? What is this? What is this going on? I don't know. I don't know, brother. I don't know, brother. Ew, brother. Ew. But yeah. Looking at the other draft, you're also like rubbing you're scratching your head. And it's like, what the hell is that? But yeah, instead of looking at my crotch, I'll be looking at the camera a little bit to be a little bit more creepy. But Vengeful Spirit and Tiny during Esports Club, I think they're still on the experimental side. They'll take the Tinker themselves this time around. Fairly simple of a concept. So if you want to try it yourself, whatever rank, just say you're a support Tinker, get 5 reports, because you get an extra one from the enemy support as well, just for funsies for trying out the new technique. But obviously, do try this in a 5 stack, and do agree with your teammates that you are trying to go for something. But technically, all you need to do is just build the healing robots, facet, and then just go straight nuts and pick up a holy locket. Fairly simple of a concept. You do you. Yeah, I mean, there used to be Pudge and Tinker Pickers all the time, and when they were trash to high heaven. And I used to be a Tinker main myself, so I know what I'm talking about. I've been working for a year and a half to get my behavior score back up to 12k. But thank God, like, you don't get chosen as a caster due to your behavior score. Supposedly, I cast good, and that's why I get this job. But other than that, it's going to be a Morphling ban going out against Paw. I think last game they weren't really scared of the CK that Paw was performing. And I'm rather curious to see what Team Hryvnia want to do. If this is a traditional draft order, it technically means that the Pudge is position 3 and the Templar is mid lane. So we are still waiting for a carry on the Hryvnia side. But Dragon Esports Club think otherwise. They do expect the puck. They do expect the Templar to be the carry, and they ban the puck out. I do believe an Invoker counter is still in the pool. I'm looking at you, Storm Spirit, but we'll see if it'll happen or not. Void Spirit gets banned instead. Okay. Still two Spirits heroes still left in the pool, but one of them is quite worthless. So, with only Amber being left, it's rather the question of something that will address the Invoker and the DK simultaneously. I think the Templar does that quite well. Negative armor coming out against the DK, quite useful. But playing the Templar into the Invoker doesn't sound so majestic. So I go for the Ember, even though you get Tornado and then your Flame Guard is gone. People just don't tend to level Flame Guard anyway. Go for the double fisting and double slightning. Yeah, I forget the facets. So calling it double fisting is just way more funnier, even though it's called double impact for some reason. I'm a chain ganging enjoyer as well, but you know, double ganging is just way cooler as Clockwork gets picked up. Black on for Nance. Just throwing twists and turns into our drafts. As Niche is actually going to be playing the mid lane Rubik this time around. Oh lord. Well, yeah, people just want to style on each other, don't they? But B-Body on the Pudge is giving me hope that we are going to get a Pudge that is just going to straight up front line for the Team Hryvnia side. Hook Shot and Meat Hook in the very same team. Sounds a little atrocious, but overall, I'm just not a fan of the Norm of Vengeful Spirit. Even though, like, Soul Strike is great, I don't know what Norm is going to go for. But I haven't seen anyone build the correct build so far. And I'm not even sure what the correct build is. I do have a few suggestions. Maybe Solar Crest into Vladimir's Aura. Boost up your Dragon Knight. Go for the big swaps. and then try and survive as much as you can. Other options include basically rushing up that Aghanim Scepter tree and then just failing miserably, as most people do after building an Aether Lens and an Aghanim Scepter, and just not dishing out any damage necessary for the hero to be viable. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if Hryvnia will actually get this 2-0, or am I just delusional of thinking that basically the second placer of Cyberscore.live is a stronger team.
Are you ready?
You did your best. You did your best.
Did I hear a squeak?
Well, isn't that something?
Combatants down. It begins.
First blood. There's nothing more mysterious until it has been
Death
stolen.
arrives upon the battlefield.
"30 seconds to battle."
There you go.
What did you hope to gain from that?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. A few sound technical issues, but of course, Team Hryvnia taking out the first 2 kills of this match. Pretty much, yeah, solidifying my prediction as of yet. DRT and Dore is getting ripped to shreds on the mid lane. Great start to the game, though. Yeah, color me unsurprised. So far, so good, but overall, I do expect the Invoker to dominate the mid lane. Or bigger question mark is this B-Body for Nance, Enchantress, and Pudge lane, as the hook will fly downtown into Nowhere's Land and do nothing. More than likely that the first 2 bloods were basically due to the fact that a hook hit, then chaos ensued. I was trying to fix my microphone. Can't fix my mouth. I was just talking crap all the time. Fernand snipes off Jerky's Courier, mitigating some of that support pleasure as... Ooh, a hook hitting once again up top. But we're watching down bottom as the double cog action goes on through. Rather going to be the question if they can keep up this progression. Yeah, it's only the first 2 minutes. Boys gotta get back in the groove of just chilling and billing and feeling good, man. It's kind of hard